back to another segment on the Pelke Show. But before I begin today, I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone that's been watching the Pelke Show, everyone that has subscribed. I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone, and I hope we're all staying safe, because I am staying safe. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about something different, because I believe everyone everywhere is talking about coronavirus, and there are many of us that don't want to talk about it. Some people don't want to hear about it. Some people are just in their houses staying safe, you know, so they don't want to hear about coronavirus. So something different from coronavirus. I'm going to talk to us about intercultural marriage. Yeah. Okay, so most people say most black though, I don't want my child to get married to a white person because they don't know our culture, you know. Some white people, I don't want my child to get married to a black child because blacks they are this, blacks they're that, you know. But when you think about it in another way, there are people that are married to blacks, there are people that are married to whites, you know, so, and their marriage is going really fine. But then we'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll have Daniela, my very wonderful friend. She got married to an Igbo guy, and I'm very proud of her because she can speak Igbo. Not very well though, but once in a while she's always like Wanyoma. She's always calling me Wanyoma, and I'm always excited to hear from her. So when you gist with Daniela, you're always not gonna be bored, and she's gonna tell us more about her marriage. She's gonna be using her story to explain to those that are in this dilemma of I don't want my child to get married to a black or a white person. So after this break, we'll have Daniela with us. You can call her Ella. Don't touch that down, just stay tuned. Once again.
Ndewo, hello everyone, my name is Daniela, or Ela. Thank you so much for the invitation to be on the Pelke Show today. I appreciate it. I'm 27 years old. I'm married to a Nigerian man. He's Igbo. We live in Europe, in Austria, and I work in an international furniture company. My friend invited me to talk about intercultural relationship, marriage. First of all, I'm not an expert. I'm talking from my experience. We are married now since 3 years almost. In July it's going to be 3 years, and I have been to Nigeria 2 times. I was in Lagos, in Abia State, in Anambra, in Enugu, Imo State, all these parts there. I'm very interested in the country, in Igbo culture especially. I also study Igbo myself. Today I have the honor to talk about some experiences of intercultural marriage and racism in other countries for African people or non-white people. And yeah, let's start. How does it feel to be married to a black man? Well, sorry, that was my computer. It feels like being married to every other person, I guess. For me, there is no difference in feelings about people. We are all people, human beings, so that doesn't make a difference for me. Maybe a short story how my husband and I, we met in Vienna, in the capital of Austria, where we also live. So this is where we met, and of course intercultural relationships or marriages bring different topics and different like things to solve, because people will of course look at you maybe more than they look at other people, because some of them, they are not exposed to foreigners as much as other people, so some are just curious, some are happy for you, some will look at you, like stare at you and give you strange faces. Those are things you have to prepare yourself for. It's no matter where you are, not everyone is going to love you or to be happy for you, but if you two stay strong together, then it's fine. Is to get to know the person for some time. Get to know the person, educate yourself about the culture, educate yourself or get an idea how people in this country live. Another thing I would say is give this relationship to God and just let Him work out the things, because if you trust God, He will always do the right thing for you. And if this relationship is, or if this person is meant to be yours, then you are going to survive anything and everything. I'm also talking from experience here. We had many difficult times already. It's actually very beautiful, but I've seen God work in our relationship in our time together. Another advice I have for maybe more white people coming to the partner's country, where there might be a stronger culture or the culture might be more alive. In Austria, we don't have that much culture anymore, unfortunately. Many people don't even know what culture is for. But before you go to meet the person's family, let's say in Nigeria, in Africa, India, wherever, talk with your partner and educate yourself about the traditions, how to show respect. For example, in Nigeria, I learned that you never address older people by their name. You call them ma or sir or auntie, uncle, brother, sister, whatever. And that's one way of respect. And I also learned how to shake people in a respectful way. And if you like shake somebody, shake like this. This is how to show respect. Another thing is, of course, to learn the partner's language. It will always help you in the relationship to get a feeling for the partner's way of living from his back or her background, and it will also give you some plus points in the family, because everybody is happy to hear his own language from a foreign person. It makes everybody smile. One thing I would do in advance before I dedicate myself to an intercultural relationship is I would check myself. Am I open for this, to learn about new things, to learn the language? Am I ready to be corrected in some things, in some habits, language, whatever? Do I have the patience? That's one key thing. Even more when you have different backgrounds. Patience and communication. Am I ready to maybe explain basic and simple things that are normal for me, that I don't even think about, but my partner has no idea about it? Am I ready to teach this to my partner? Those are things I would check with myself first. What I love about Igbo culture? Many things. I love the way of dressing. I also have my own wrapper, for example. I got this when I was in Nigeria for the first time. And I love the bright colors. I love the way people are respectful. I'm not used to this in this length. I love the language. Also Pidgin English. Abek no vex, my pronunciation. And I just think that Pidgin is such a funny language. And Igbo is actually a very beautiful language. I'm starting to understand the way it's formed, the way it describes things. It's simply so beautiful, and the pronunciation is actually in some parts very similar to my mother tongue, which is German. You know, Austrians are like more calm and sometimes maybe a little bit boring. And I love how active and lively Nigerians are. And oh my god, Nollywood movies, I love them. I just love them. If you want to visit my Instagram account, I did a series of 3 pictures there with Nollywood movie makeup inspired by Nollywood village movies. I love the village movies, and the outfits there, and I love the food as well. Give me some egusi, okra, fufu, curry. I'm here for it. On Sundays, my husband and I, we often make akara. I love akara. I love that people eat with hands. That's one of my favorite parts about Nigeria. Another thing that I love is how close and connected families in Nigeria are. Like, there's always somebody at home, or the way families help each other when there's a problem. Of Nigerians or African families, they have a stronger family bond than I have seen in my own country. Of course, I love the art. For example, this old Igbo language that people used to communicate with in CBD. Somehow it's really hard to remember examples of what I love about Nigeria, because I really live this culture every day with my husband. We cook Nigerian food, we go to Nigerian events. It's somehow hard to differentiate what is like typical Nigerian and what is Austrian, because I simply love this country and these people so much. Guys, Ahurum Genanya. I was also asked to say some things in Igbo. Ahambu Daniela, Esim na Austria, or the way you say it, Ostra. Just studying random sentences from an Igbo dictionary. Let me show you. This is my Igbo dictionary. By the way, all the books I mentioned, I bought them on Amazon, so this is where you can get it. I actually like the word for mother, like ne. My favorite Igbo word is Omalicha, which means beauty. Beautiful. The first word I learned in Pidgin was no wahala. I quite like the system how to count in Igbo. Otu, abuo, ato, ano, ise, isi, or ishi, I think. Asa, asato, itolo, iri. And then from 10, if you want to say 11, you say 10 plus 1 or 10 and 1, like iri na otu. How my parents reacted when I told them that I want to get married to a, let's say, non-Austrian man. Well, it was different. My dad actually, he accepted my husband from day one, and before we got married, he invited him to talk. My parents, they don't speak English, and because my mother tongue is German, and my parents only speak German. So my dad, he has a friend who is also Nigerian, so he invited my husband and his friend for dinner, and they talked, and my dad asked my husband what he wanted to ask him, and afterwards they were fine, and yeah, everything was fine about this. My mom actually, she didn't travel as much as my dad did. So she mainly stayed in Austria, some countries around, but not as far as Africa or America. So she was a little bit scared, I think. She was not happy in the beginning. Yeah, it was quite a difficult time for her to accept all this, and of course it's also not easy for someone to go against the mother's or parents' wish. But, and that's also already my advice for you if you're in this kind of situation. If it feels right for you and your heart, it sounds maybe cheesy, but if your heart tells you that this is the right person for you, go for it, because it's your life, and your parents, your family, your friends, whoever is against this relationship, they cannot live life for you. So you have to make your own choices. You can, of course, it's still important to talk to them, especially your parents. The particular advice I have is to sit your parents down and explain to them that two different cultures, two very different people from their upbringings, from the places they are, it will always be a plus to the family, to the, yeah, you just get a new way of living, because you brighten up your horizon, you get to know about how people live in another place on earth, you get to experience new food, new ways of thinking, new environments, so many new things, and everything you see and learn, nobody can take it from you, and it's always a plus to your life, I think. And especially if you want to have kids in the future, for them to grow up with two different, let me call it, worlds, it will make them so smart and so rich in experience. I always support. And this is what I would tell my parents today if I had to talk to them with the knowledge I have today. Before we got married, it was not only a difficult time with my family, it was also a difficult time with friends. I still don't know the reason till today, but many of my friends left me. Many unexpected things just happened to me, but you go with the flow. My advice regarding ending racism, well, it's a very big topic, a very complex topic, but the first thing to do, in my opinion, is to educate yourself on it. Talk with your partner about it, talk with people who have experience about it. Nowadays we have the opportunities to connect to people via social media, so ask people. There are many platforms who address this topic, and I also have 2 recommendations for you. 2 books. This is in German now, but the original title is Why I No Longer Speak About Race with White People. It's by Reni Edo-Lodge, and this was my starting book for racism education. One that I even like more is Me and White Supremacy by Leila F. Saad, and this is actually a workbook. Really recommend this one. You can read it online, and you can also find a link in the info box, I guess. Like I said, racism is a very delicate topic. I'm still learning about it myself, but what I have learned already is that racism happens in situations where white people don't even recognize it, where we don't even understand it, and to educate yourself about the forms of racism and the way it appears, and also to check yourself, check your own opinions and prejudices you have. Sometimes you might not even know it, or you might not even understand that it's a racist way of thinking, but if you go through this book, you will for sure find many things. Thank you again for inviting me to your show. I'm really honored, and I hope I could give some useful advices. And like I said before already, feel free to contact me if you have any questions, any stories you would like to tell or to know, and stay healthy. Love, Ela, everybody loves Africa.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Daniela has said a lot. I mean, if I really wanted to get married to a white person, I mean, this has opened my mind. It has made me understand a lot of things. Like, she's talking about culture, knowing more about the person's culture before you get married to the person. I think that's very, very, very important. Because I know if you want to get married to someone from my village, you have to know our culture. Like, let me not go there, because that's a story for another day. But I'm sure that, in fact, getting married to a black person, you have to know more about the person's culture. I think that's why most black parents don't really like their children going to get married to a white person, because it will be very hard. But seeing Daniela and knowing that she likes the culture so much, I think many other white people can cope with it. So and ending racism too, that's another one. Really, racism, we have to end it for real. But that's a story for another day, like Daniela said. So, but thank you so much, Daniela, for all the things you said, because I'm sure a lot of people have heard a lot. They've learned a lot from what you said. So thank you very much, and I hope we're going to see you next time. In fact, face to face, you know, face to face. So thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope we really learned from what she has said. But if you're yet to subscribe, please please subscribe, because we have a lot of packages coming. Like a lot of packages coming for you alone and for you alone. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please click on that subscribe button and please share, because it will help a lot of people out there. Yeah, it will help. There are lots of people that want to get married to black, white. So thank you guys.